In the province of Luan, during the early years of the Song dynasty, there served a magistrate named Zhao Yining. He was known throughout the region for his sharp mind, unwavering integrity, and one unshakable rule: I never reopen a closed case. He believed that once a verdict was passed, the matter was settled. No bribes, no appeals, no emotion. He took pride in efficiency, not mercy. His court was as quiet as a temple and as feared as the gallows. One cold autumn morning, just before dawn, a guard burst into Magistrate Zhao's chambers. "Sir, there's someone in the courtroom. He says he has a case, an old one." Zhao, annoyed, sipped his tea. "Then tell him to return when the court opens." The guard hesitated. "Sir, he's already there. And he claims he's dead." Zhao narrowed his eyes. When Zhao entered the courtroom, he saw the figure standing at the plaintiff's bench. A man dressed in old, rotted silk robes. His skin was pale, his hair matted with dried mud. But he stood straight, eyes locked on the judge's seat. "State your name," Zhao said calmly. "I am Han Wei, formerly of Lianshan village. I was murdered 4 years ago." Whispers erupted in the gallery. Zhao banged his gavel. "Explain yourself." Han Wei's voice was soft but clear. 4 years ago, I was found hanging from a tree. Your predecessor ruled it a suicide. But I did not take my life. I was strangled. The man who did it now lives free, and my soul cannot rest. Zhao studied the figure. The man's feet hovered an inch above the ground. His eyes did not blink. His shadow moved differently from the light. A ghost, yes, but articulate, calm, precise. Still, Zhao's rule echoed in his mind: never reopen a case. "This case was judged and closed," Zhao declared. "You may go." The ghost did not move. "Your Honor, I ask only for one night. Re-examine the body. Ask the coroner again. Justice is not an offense." Zhao stood. "Court is adjourned." That night, Zhao could not sleep. In his dreams, he saw Han Wei, not dead, but alive, dragged through the woods by unseen hands, a rope forced around his throat. He woke with a start, drenched in sweat. The next morning, the ghost returned. This time, he carried an old court record, somehow taken from the archives. Zhao read it. The coroner's notes were vague, the rope marks inconsistent with suicide, the testimony of Han Wei's wife strangely omitted. Still, he said nothing. That evening, Zhao sat alone in the courtroom. Candlelight flickered. Suddenly, the temperature dropped. Han Wei appeared again. "You pride yourself on justice," the ghost said. "But pride is not justice. Fear is not justice. I died in agony, and you, who could give me peace, are silent." Zhao's hands trembled. He finally whispered, "Who killed you?" Han Wei's eyes shimmered like still water. "My cousin, Han Sheng. He coveted my land and my wife. One night, he invited me to drink. I woke with a rope at my neck and a weight on my back. He made it look like suicide." Zhao Yiming leaned back, stunned. "Your wife? Was she complicit?" But she was frightened. "After my death, Han Sheng married her and inherited everything." Zhao stood slowly. "If I open this case, I defy imperial procedure. I risk my post." Han Wei bowed. "Then risk your post." "I risked my soul." The next morning, Zhao summoned the coroner who had handled Han Wei's death. The man, now retired and gray-haired, looked nervous. "I remember it, sir," he muttered. "It was strange. You reported it as suicide." "Yes, but the bruising. It looked more like he was held down. I was told to keep quiet." His cousin came with a letter from your predecessor. Case closed. Did you still have the body examined thoroughly? No, the coroner admitted. The wife begged us not to cut him open. We rushed the burial. Zhao's face darkened. He rode that afternoon to Lianshan village. Han Wei's tomb was still there, moss-covered and leaning. Zhao ordered it open. Inside, the corpse remained strangely preserved. No rot, no smell. The undertaker crossed himself and said a silent prayer. The magistrate leaned close. The neck bones were broken in a way inconsistent with suicide. The wrists showed faint bruises, bindings. The tongue, usually protruding in a hanging, was intact. Zhao returned to the capital that night. He reopened the case. The next day, he summoned Han Sheng to court. A portly man, richly dressed, Han Sheng scoffed at the summons. "Why am I being questioned over a suicide from 4 years ago?" Zhao replied evenly, "Because the dead are now speaking." Han Sheng laughed, but the crowd did not. Word had spread. People whispered of ghosts and righteous judges. Zhao laid out the evidence: the reopened coroner's report, the tomb findings, the missing testimony, and the letter that had rushed the case closed. Then Zhao did something no one expected. He declared, "Let the dead witness speak." The courtroom went silent. And then Han Wei appeared. Only Zhao could see him clearly. The others saw flickers, felt chills. Zhao stood. "Ghost of Han Wei, do you swear to speak truthfully before heaven?" "I swear." Han Wei repeated the details, down to the wine, the knife at his back, the rope. He even quoted what Han Sheng had whispered before killing him. "With you gone, she'll be mine by spring." Han Sheng turned pale. "Lies! This is a trick." Zhao raised a hand. "Your wife has already confessed. She came to my chambers last night. Her dreams have been filled with blood." The confession, hastily signed in shaky ink, was enough. Zhao pronounced judgment. Han Sheng would be stripped of titles and lands and imprisoned to await final sentencing by the imperial court. As the guards dragged him away, Han Sheng screamed, "You listen to a ghost! This isn't justice, it's sorcery." Zhao stood tall. Justice belongs to both the living and the dead. That night, Zhao sat in his chamber, the candle burning low. Han Wei appeared once more, calmer now. "I thank you, Your Honor." Zhao bowed. "You were right. Pride is not justice." "May I ask one last thing?" Han Wei asked. "Yes." "Let my wife go. She was not part of it. Fear made her silent. Let her remarry freely." Zhao nodded. "It shall be done." Han Wei smiled. Then he vanished, this time without leaving a shadow. From that day on, Magistrate Zhao was no longer known just for being firm. He was known for listening to voices others refused to hear. And though he still feared the ghosts he once denied, he feared even more becoming the kind of man they came to haunt.